All right, doing this video in my garage. I want to talk about the lows, the reason for the lows. There's a reason for the lows, and the reason for the lows is a carving, a creating new grooves. It's actually the feeling of getting rid of old neural pathways, which sucks. It feels like a big plow is coming in, and it actually gives you a headache. And then it makes you feel sick or sleepy because you're purging. Even if you don't throw up, that low feeling that can be very depressing and sad is the result of actually new frequencies coming in. They've already been coming in. They were like exciting things, like exciting new ideas or realizations, or even just the new moon brought them in, or a particular star configuration brought them in. And so then you get them and you're excited about them. You actually go ahead and tell them to make a place for you to remember them and to act you out and to carry that new belief. You consciously make that intention in what feels like a very joyful space, usually. And then what happens is your body's like, oh, in order to accommodate this new vibration, I've got to junk some old data. I've got to defrag the mainframe, right? So then you start feeling terrible, and you even start questioning the decision that you made, or the insight that you had, or the commitment that you made, and you go into that feeling terrible feeling, and you start to wonder if you should go back, if you're even going the right way at all. Maybe you even get stuck in and start identifying with the yucky feeling, and maybe you even focus on it so much that you bring in old fears that are maybe something that happened in your family, maybe a genetic disorder of some kind, and you start like unconsciously bringing that in and attaching it to this feeling, when that feeling was none of that at all. It never was a physical thing. It only was a belief detox and upgrade. And I think this is happening all the time, and it's forever been happening, and partially where a lot of health things have been created unneedfully. Not to say that there's never a health thing that's physical. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are a lot of situations where this is what's happening. We then go into this low, this detoxy place, and then we try everything sometimes in our might to get out of it, or to say that we don't like it and we don't want to be in it, and we look for all the self-helps, even this video about what to do when you're feeling low. And this video is a reminder to feel it. And if you don't totally want to feel it, know you're in transition and just distract yourself. I like to take lots of baths when I'm down. I like to watch movies that are mindless or that are inspiring, or I like to do crafts, or I like to walk. I don't really like to read. I don't really like to interact with people that much when I'm feeling this way, because I want to be going through my process. And a lot of times the process hits right when like something in your life needs to change. So if you can look at what have been called like the main core stressors, maybe you had to move, or maybe you got out of a relationship, or maybe you got in a relationship, or you started school, or your kids started school, or there was an illness, or there was travel, or a job change, or even the weather change. Going into new seasons can trigger this, where we just take a reflect moment. And it's even positive to begin, with. We think, oh, this really new thing is going to come in my life, or I'm changing this thing about myself. And then what happens is the initiation. So the initiation goes in to see what neural pathways that you have that line up with this new idea. And all the old ones will come up that don't fit, and they're actually going to replay for a second in your field, in your life. And if you buy into them as being, oh, this is just really all I have, this is really all I can do, then you're gonna debunk the initiation and you're gonna have to start it again. And it's gonna loop around and you're gonna go through all the feelings, but for naught. Because if you do know that you're going through an initiation, that you're going through an up level, that this is just part of it, then on the other side, you'll immediately begin to feel the locking in of the new frequency, and the locking in of the new life, and the locking in and the showing you of what these next new upgrades are for you. And then it becomes a beautiful thing. And these days, this shift usually just takes a few days, but a few days is all it takes to loop ourselves back into an old negative mindset. So the best thing we can do is just feel the pain, distract, and keep knowing that we're in like a belief detox. So I hope this has been helpful to you in your next low. If you're in a low right now, stay tuned for more tips on what to do during this awakening process.